Idubbbz has had the most unbelievable transformation in all of YouTube. He went from a content king, those who people feared, to now the laughingstock of the entire community. Idubbbz since his peak has gotten married, apologized for his old videos, and burned bridges with longtime friends. It's looking to be that this is the end of Idubbbz.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. What the hell?
I need to drown that out with some more mango.
Oh, my God. What was that?
But I really do appreciate the support, and, you know, thank you for coming.
Within a year, Anissa is going to leave Ian.
If you haven't seen my previous video, the never-ending Idubbbz crash out, I'd recommend that. But as a little recap, for most of 2024, Idubbbz has just been podcasting and making incredibly lame videos. Idubbbz flirted with a new content cop with his Idubbbz complaints on Cartnarks, where he was essentially just complaining about another YouTuber, but didn't call it content cop. Do you know who just was so bad enough to where Idubbbz put the uniform back on? Well, it was H3H3. Of course. Yeah, longtime friend and collaborator of Idubbbz for around a decade. Well, that's all down the drain. What caused this rift in the relationship? Is it what H3H3 had to say about Ben Shapiro?
I was just gonna say, if there's another Holocaust and people start rounding up the Jews, I just say, if they start rounding up the Jews again, I hope Ben gets gassed first.
Is it how he wanted to have someone bomb an NRA meeting?
So there was a big protest outside the NRA meeting, which was good. Do we have any insight into what they're actually talking about there at the NRA meeting that's today in Texas? Someone should bomb that building.
No, of course not. It's because H3H3 is a Zionist, I guess. But really what it comes down to is that H3H3 is no longer favored by Hassan Piker. Now I have another video talking about the falling out of H3H3 and Hassan Piker in this video. I did mention in that video how Froggy Tonic, who is a former Idubbbz editor, did speak out against H3H3. And this is essentially what caused this whole rift. H3H3 wanted Idubbbz to speak out against his former editor who claimed that H3H3 was essentially neglecting his children. Since neither Idubbbz nor Anissa wanted to speak out in favor of their friends, saying that they don't live in literal feces, H3H3 decided that he did not want fair weather friends and burned the bridge with the both of them.
She's like a IDF baby killer, all this types of shit. And that's showing up right up on Anissa's and Idubbbz feed. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered for saying one goddamn fucking thing in our defense. Like, actually, Hila's not a baby killer. Actually, accusing Ethan of killing his dog is maybe too far, because they have mobilized such an insane harassment group that anybody who says any fucking thing, they will attempt to ruin their lives. And once again, I'm the crazy one. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people harassing me and everyone in my life. It's that people outside of this group, journalists, creators, are actively participating in this gaslighting to make it seem like I'm fucking crazy. Like, dude, I probably done and stood by Idubbbz and Anissa more than anybody. I've stood by them when all the internet hated them because I love those guys. I vouched for their character, and I stood by them 100%. And listen, I'm not saying that they're not the good, nice, fine people that I thought they were, but I'll say this: I don't think they're fucking any friends of mine. That's what I'll say at this moment. And certainly, I don't think they're any fucking friends of mine based on the text conversation I had with them too before I even talked about it. So I have nothing. I don't need any fucking halfway friends, man. That's not what I need. How could you not say something when this is like, imagine like one of you guys is like, Hassan actually wants to go to Gaza so he can strangle Israeli babies. Or some shit like that. I'd be like, you imagine me not saying something. Hassan actually killed his fucking dog You think that I would let that slide as much as I hate Hassan? You don't think I would say something?
This burning of the bridge led Idubbbz to do what any sane, rational person would do. Make a content cop on his former friend, and most of it is very gaslighty and probably could have been just a private conversation. Not to mention, he left out very important context to why H3H3 was crashing out. For those that don't know, CPS was called on the Klein family, and there is a lot of discourse going around of potential neglect and giardia going amongst the household, especially amongst Bad Empanada, Froggy Tonic, who we discussed earlier, and denouncement, a Twitch streamer, Hassan Orbiter, however you want to call it.
They're calling CPS, Child Protective Services, to come to our house and break up our family. On Friday morning, an agent showed up to our house saying that they had received an anonymous tip that our children were crawling around in dog shit, eating dog shit, and contracting diseases. Yet the rumor continued to persist on their subreddit. It was never moderated. In fact, it was completely covered up by the mod team of H3 Snark. Here they are. Here's the mods doxing our office. Yes, this is actually a real screenshot. Hi, I know you're on break, so I'll just drop this info here in case you need it in the future. We found the H3 studio and Teddy Fresh actual address. On the right is H3, on the left is TF. Studio listing, here's the link. It's identical to the H3, here's their address. This is fucking insane. These are the moderators. This isn't even like the community members. These are the people running the fucking subreddit. These people are knowingly putting us and employees in danger by sharing this address with each other with malicious intent.
So not only was this in very important context left out, but Idubbbz himself danced with the alleged perpetrators of this CPS raid. denouncement, Frogan, Hassan Piker, and Shonda Black were all featured in the content cop at the very beginning. And XQC said himself that the people he was collaborating with are the most content coppable people on the entire internet.
Oh, hell no! Content cop, and he picks the people that are the most content coppable of all time. Bro, you cannot make this up. I'm not even just like preaching to the choir because it's like I use the most popular opinion or whatever, but he picks the most like content coppable people of all time, and it makes a content cup with them. Oh, I can't.
Frogan has a very infamous clip talking about American soldiers.
I have no pity at all for any fucking soldiers. Distress, thank you so much. I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers. U.S. military? Who fucking who? I hope you get PTSD.
Hassan Piker has his infamous moment about 9/11.
America deserved 9/11, dude.
denouncement tried to justify the CPS raid, saying that the kids are young enough that they'll forget about it. And Shonda Black, who cares? He's irrelevant. Upon further research, I am now aware that Shonda Black is most notable for the clip where he says that Destiny should be taken out, game ended, in Minecraft Hunger Games because he said the N-word.
Just goes out and just says the N-word, which is not a surprise because he said the N-word on stream with his own face. Can somebody just like, it would just be so easy to just, it will solve all of our problems. Like, we would have socialism now at this point, right? We would have socialism at this point if someone just went out of their way and it would be so easy. This is what happens when you don't kill every single slave owner after slavery. They have children, and their children have children's, and their children have children's, and then their children have accidents that should have ended up on a sock, and it becomes destiny. That's what you get. That's what you get. When you don't murder every single slave owner, every single Ku Klux Klan member, and they have children, and those children have accidents that should have been aborted, you get destiny.
Throughout the entire video, Idubbbz just paints H3 as mentally unwell and tries to frame him as a Zionist, where Hassan Piker was the pro-Israel anti-Zionist. He decides to just exclude any context of H3 calling Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, a war criminal. The problem Hassan Piker had is that H3 actually had empathy for both sides. There could be a lot of audience capture in that decision, considering Ela Klein was an Israeli citizen when she turned 18. Therefore, she had to serve in the IDF. And obviously, both of the Kleins have lived in Israel for quite a number of years. After the October 7th incident, a lot of Hassan's fans might have found out about that or got really animated about Israel-Palestine. So they might have felt very uncomfortable with Hassan Piker having a show with H3H3 or any sort of working relationship for that matter. That is speculation, but mind you, Hassan Piker did have to apologize to his audience for playing Hogwarts Legacy, a Harry Potter video game.
I'm not playing this game, and I know a bunch of other people are not playing this game, is because we know that it's not worth it to get fucking bullied endlessly and called transphobic endlessly when we have massive queer communities and audiences. That's it. I got fucking yelled at endlessly and relentlessly on my alt account. Like, they were making it seem like I was already transphobic for even thinking about this. And now look at that.
Aside from being factually dishonest about this video, Idubbbz just hired some psychology YouTuber from Seattle to like talk to him and try to lower down a previous video of his, where I guess he ranks apologies. That's what he does. So Idubbbz really just wants to have this psychologist like lower points on H3H3, and the psychologist didn't. And then Idubbbz just had to cope about that in the video.
Unfortunately, Kirk did not change his grade, but that's okay. Because this is the internet, anyone can have their own official apology rating system. So I'm going to rate Ethan's apology a B-. That's just based on my own feelings and my own rubric.
This is a video, mind you. He could have just cut that entire segment. Mind you, this is by far the longest content cop. It has nothing to say. Aesthetically, you have one skit at the very beginning, technically two, and then you have a skit at the very end. This skit at the very end was all of H3H3's enemies essentially saying one good thing about H3H3. Idubbbz tries to pull the empathy act after completely gaslighting his entire audience throughout the entire video, which is over an hour long.
Things that are just instant turnoffs for women, crying. You should not be crying, period. It shows emotional weakness, and you wonder how they're going to handle serious, actual, legitimate issues. Crying at really stupid shit is a really good way to make a girl not like you.
This segment at the very end does fall flat considering Hassan Piker, who is Ethan Klein's biggest op, isn't even in this section, despite already being featured in the video. And do you know what H3H3 responds with?
Could make you snap. That could make you go postal.
By the way, this is what's fucking I don't think I have anything accountable, but I'm going to look at the criticism and respond to it. This is what this looks like. Hassan still will not watch the content nuke. And by the way, when he watches clips of it, he needs someone else to hold his hand and prepare the responses for him to agree with. Yeah. I don't need that.
Well, first, he got news live on his podcast, and he decided to react to it right then and there on the spot. What a baller move, because he had no idea what was even in that content cop, and he still went for it. And it also really helped H3H3 show that he has bigger balls than Hassan Piker, who wasn't even willing to watch the H3H3 content nuke on him. Even though he didn't even watch his video, Hassan wanted to debate H3H3 on this. Like, what is that about? That seems to be a running pattern with Hassan Piker. He just does not watch videos and then wants to debate the creators about the substance of those videos. He did the same exact thing with Willie Mack. Like, how are you just gonna like not watch a video and then debate the creator of that video on the very video that you didn't even watch? Credit where credit's due. H3H3's live streamed response is really good. Obviously, it's several hours long, so good thing he made another video that was actually just a short, condensed response. But the live stream is actually quite funny, I must say. One standout moment I really thought was really funny is how H3H3 pointed out how he messed up talking about he wanted to bomb an NRA building, but Idubbbz didn't even include that in any of the montages of H3H3 crashing out. And Ethan says it's because he agrees with it. One point that I found a little annoying, and it really wouldn't matter if it was just for a joke, but this got elongated. A lot of runtime was dedicated to the sword that Idubbbz is holding in his post saying DE Idubbbz. Supposedly, this sword belongs to Hassan Piker because this whole photo is taking place in Hassan Piker's room. The sword is from Bleach, but H3H3 pointed out how it looked like a swastika, and considering Idubbbz is wearing a Free Palestine thing, and that both Ethan and Hila are Jewish, he obviously ran with the idea that Idubbbz is being anti-Semitic, which that's a funny joke in of itself, but when Ethan Klein is responding live, that is just completely diluting the point, and he spent a lot of time on it. At the very least, it has a very satisfying payoff that Hassan Piker himself on multiple occasions said he has not watched Bleach, but for some reason he just happens to have the sword from Bleach. Now, as I alluded to earlier, after the live stream and the podcast was all wrapped and done, Ethan Klein did upload on the H3H3 Productions channel, making a very concise response to the Idubbbz content cop, and then afterwards debated Hassan Piker. And considering it didn't just cover the content nuke but the content cop, yeah, this was all over the place. And yes, during the debate, the swastika sword was mentioned.
Of Ian's the video's performance. I don't give a fuck. Come on, play the video, dude. Come on, Jesus Christ. Play the fucking clip.
I mean, it is ironic that he came and did this whole show of doing it with you and it like just completely humiliated him. I think that's kind of funny and interesting, but I'll play the clip.
Not on Leftovers. He's now talking about it on his podcast.
What I want to do is show you. Are you not? Hold on, I'm sorry. His entire creator clash is in ruin. The event is going to be fucking absolutely canceled. He's probably not even able to reimburse most of the fighters for the time they trained. How is that not a train wreck?
Ethan,
I'm just saying.
I am not Idubbbz. I don't care about your petty vendetta against Idubbbz. Play the fucking
video
clip.
How I see Israel, because you were in the video. When you listen to Hassan and you hear all these fucking
you ruined a charity event. I hope you're proud.
Oh my god, bro.
That leads us into Content Deputy H3. I kid you not, the first 10 minutes is Idubbbz announcing he is no longer a part of Creator Clash. He insinuates that H3H3 attacking Idubbbz for Creator Clash during his debate with Hassan was the reason to do so. And then afterwards, he just literally talks about the swastika sword. However, to give credit to Idubbbz, he did make a good point how H3H3 was crying foul of anti-Semitism.
Worst criticisms I labeled at Ethan is that he's a bad boss, a tyrant of a boss. I just implied that he was being taken advantage of by people either in his community or outside of his community, and I called him a bitch-made coward. That was like the summary of personal insults labeled at Ethan. Before Ethan even knew what my video was about, he was already framing me as anti-Semitic.
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
I'm one of you. I fucking hate Jews too, guys. Let's get after it. Israelis have no right to defend themselves, actually. All Israelis are settlers, actually. What is he going to give me a history lesson now? Is he a historian?
To be fair, Idubbbz, in this photo, you are currently in the room with Frogan and Hassan Piker. And of course, Denouncement dropped some weird OnlyFans promotion where she literally has Hitler in her thirst trap. What level of bait is this? Afterward is where Idubbbz would finally address the CPS call and why he obfuscated it in his own content cop initially. And the reason is because H3H3 was attacking Idubbbz after talking about the CPS call.
There was not even one mention of CPS.
And a lot of the clips he uses is us fired up from the day that CPS came to us.
So like
without even explaining that at least that's the context, it's pretty cowardly.
I wonder why I wouldn't mention the CPS call. Could it be that the CPS call happened the same day that you were shit-talking me? And I didn't have any chance to defend myself? You just immediately, in the same podcast, right next to each other, said, CPS call was very traumatic. And then you said, fuck Ian and Anissa. And you linked those together, you kind of layered those flavors, and then Anissa and I got a bunch of harassment. We had nothing to do with the CPS call. What are all these fucking comments on your Reddit saying like, it happened because of the CPS call? I don't entirely blame your audience for getting confused because number one, it's a fucking cult, and number two, you can't even get the timeline straight. So if anyone's watching your dumbass, their brain is also gonna get scrambled.
And Idubbbz didn't even mention Froggy Tonic in the Content Deputy. So if you really want the full context of why H3H3 is so mad, you have to watch that over an hour hour-long content cop, and then you have to retain that information for over an hour of content cop and over 10 minutes of content deputy. This lack of organization with the information given about the context of H3H3 CPS call is frankly disgusting, considering this is involving his kids now. Other than that, the entire rest of the video, which is over half of it, is completely unnoteworthy, just going tit for tat, making bad jokes. He literally appeals to Reddit.
Like, literally, my kids have cooler fucking tattoos from Chuck E. Cheese. Bro looks like he just went to the menu and was like, I'll take that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one.
I have quite a few options here. I can show your tattoos in all of their glory, or I can show that your tattoo made it to the top of awful taste but great execution subreddit, which is not a good thing. I mean, it might be a good thing for the artists that you work with, because that means that they did a good job from a technical standpoint, but it's sort of a failure in every other aspect, particularly the decision-making aspect.
This has to be a logical fallacy in some way. There's no way this guy is actually using Reddit upvotes as some sort of factor. To go even further with this obsession with internet points, at the very end of the video, he insists the audience like the video to stop or counteract the brigade of dislikers. Yes, he's literally stooped to that level. 7 million subscribers, by the way. Hell, by the time this video actually comes out, it might even dip below that.
Also, for all the people who touch grass, I want to remind you to click the like button on this video. Not so it goes in your algorithm or anything, just specifically so that we can add a counter narrative, or I can get an idea of how much astroturfing is out there, because I know that a lot of these fuckers, they love their dislike button extensions. And I saw that shit and I was like, what the fuck? These are all like fabricated numbers. The like-dislike ratio was like 80-20 on my video, and then they tried to create a narrative of like, no, people actually hate this content cop, guys. It's actually so much worse. Like, bitch, like, people were more upset with, like, my wife being on OnlyFans. You're not gonna convince the internet that fucking Ethan Klein isn't being a piece of shit.
But oh my, that's only half of the equation. Let's dig into the Creator Clash files.
Commentary YouTubers have no idea what it is to work a normal job, let alone put on a whole event, okay? You have no clue. You fuckers that are looking at this right now, I know that you would fucking cry if I said something to you in real life. I know you would cry. How do I know? Because I've done it to one of you fuckers in real life, and you have cried. Ian keeps me, this is the truth, okay? Ian keeps me on a leash, okay? And I'm okay with that, because I need to be on a leash. I need to be on a leash, a tight leash, to be honest, because I am unhinged. I feel like more people hate me than Onision. And maybe it's because I'm in it, like I'm seeing it, but that's what it feels like. It feels like I quit college to become the most hated person on YouTube.
Creator Clash, founded by Idubbbz and his wife Anissa Joma, began as an influencer boxing event to support charity. When it comes to Creator Clash 1, there really wasn't many issues that arose. If you really want to be nitpicky, you could bring up how one of the charities supported, Healing Horse Therapy Center Incorporated, is actually ran by the mother of Aaron Hansen, who some of you may know as Ego Raptor from the Game Grumps. Mind you, Aaron Hansen himself was a fighter in Creator Clash. Obviously, this is a little dubious as charity goes, but the controversies with this boxing event goes much, much deeper when we get to Creator Clash 2 hosted in 2023. With Creator Clash 1 being successful last year, then it would be assumed that Creator Clash 2 would go for bigger and better. Well, this is where problems arrive. The promotion for this event was not really prevalent at all. The most that was heard about this online is the controversy that arose when Froggy Fresh was kicked off his ticket, meaning that he would no longer be fighting Chris Raygun, and he would be banned from the event. It also should be noted that the replacement for Froggy Fresh himself was actually 6 inches taller than his opponent, Chris Raygun, and naturally, Chris Raygun got beat badly. Not to mention that Anissa back in the day used to stream quite a bit with Chris Raygun. They were quite close. Some would would dare say they had sexual tension, and some would say that was very one-sided, and the one side showing the affection was Anissa. Idubbbz would defend his decision to ban Froggy Fresh in a very poorly received video, named Addressing the Froggy Fresh Drama. In the video, Idubbbz claims himself that Froggy Fresh was kicked because of collaborating and associating with Sam Hyde.
The one indication I gave him was Sam Hyde, and I wasn't unclear about that. Anyone who's mentioning the fact that Harley trained with Sam Hyde for the year previous, that was before Sam was saying this about my wife.
I don't think so, Anissa. Bitch. Ho. Fucking Anissa. What an ugly piece of shit. But look how beat she is. Oh, nice jack-o'-lantern teeth.
That's like
I can't wait to see what she looks like when she's 32. Her teeth look like a pumpkin head. Like it's the Anissa Joma hole stretcher. I'm sending this to Anissa's OnlyFans. It goes directly into charity.
Yeah.
Everybody hates him and his wife's a slut.
So yeah, now that this guy is on the daily insulting my wife, I think it's pretty fair to, not want to associate with him in any way.
There is a bit of context left out the video because Froggy Fresh did make a very tame OnlyFans joke that could be seen as making fun of Anissa.
If I don't hurt you beyond what anybody could have imagined, I will be so disappointed in myself that I will subscribe to Anissa's OnlyFans.
Also, there was some weird beef between Anissa's mom and Froggy Fresh. Yes, Anissa's mom is a Twitch moderator for her stream because that's a totally normal thing to do for your daughter. And looking in hindsight, we now know that Donut Operator actually was kind of ghosted by Ian and Anissa after making a tame OnlyFans joke.
And COVID rolls around, I get bored at home, so I make an OnlyFans where I'm showing my meat.
Really?
And, well, basically, I'm taking a steak and I'm rating a steak. and
See, that's the reaction that you're supposed to have. Genius.
I thought it was funny. So I'd be wearing just an apron. Of course, I'm wearing boxers underneath. And I'd reach down and be like, this is my OnlyFans. And this is an A5 Wagyu from down the street. And I would talk about it. And I sent it to Ian, and he got mad and called me and said I was making fun of Anissa, and I wasn't. I just thought it was a funny bit because I was sitting at home during COVID. And
you'll never understand what it's like to be an ally.
Yeah, he said stuff like that, and just haven't talked to him since. That was 5 years ago.
Over that?
Yeah, and I've texted him and tried to reconnect with him. He just won't talk to me anymore.
So this may be a pattern of behavior where you're not allowed to make any sort of jokes about sex workers whilst being friends with Idubbbz and Anissa.
I wanted to quit OF so early on, and Ian was like, no, you promised 2 years at least. I'm gonna make you stick to it. And I did, and I still do it, so. Can I say that?
The important thing here is the way that Idubbbz criticizes Froggy Fresh and Sam Hyde. The way he goes about it is nothing like how he would back in the Content Cop era, and Idubbbz himself even prefaces that yes, it is different and he's not being hypocritical, he did change in the video itself. Then we get to the apology video. I really don't think I would be here today if it wasn't for that apology video by Idubbbz, so thank you. Genuinely, who knows how many people I would not have known at all if it wasn't for this one video. If this video didn't come out, I probably would still be making VTuber drama videos. This apology video for Idubbbz is essentially what he is known for in the modern day, garnering a lot more views than any of his videos between 2021 and 2023. Some standout moments are when Idubbbz apologized to everybody that he did a content cop on, but he only specifically mentioned Tana Mojo.
Sorry to everyone that I made content cop videos on. I still...
What? Dude, I never thought this day would come. Let's fucking go, dude.
I still don't like the majority of you.
What the fuck?
And that's fine, but I can recognize that you did not deserve the hate and harassment that I sent your way.
Bro.
Okay?
He also claims that he developed empathy as a 30-year-old.
I think only in these past couple of years have I gained the ability empathy, and I'm very ashamed to admit that. It sounds really pathetic to say at the age of 32 I've acquired empathy, but I have.
So when the apology video came out, Idubbbz deleted all of the previous Content Cop episodes. He has officially denounced his old videos, claiming that they were hurtful and helped radicalize people. Interestingly enough, he does mention how he used the term NF in his videos. Take a wild guess what the N or the F stands for in that phrase. Thing is, he doesn't say that in the Content Cop videos. It was actually a bad unboxing where he said it. And as far as I'm aware, he didn't delete the original video where he said NF. Very curious, I say this because Idubbbz felt the need to monetize his apology video and mention how he's donating to multiple charities. He didn't actually mention the charities by name in the video, but in the description, one of them is the Trans Women of Color Coalition. So quite literally, he is donating money to NFs. You cannot make this up. A fun discovery I just had is that when clicking the link that's provided in Idubbbz video for this charity, it brings you to a GoDaddy link to buy the web domain. So clearly Idubbbz didn't make enough money from this video to donate to it. Either that or the USAID money ran out. And if you've been watching my videos since 2023, you would know how Moist Critical did a reaction to it and people were not too keen on what he had to say. Yeah, Moist Critical was fence-sitting a little too hard and people didn't like how Moist Critical didn't feel the need for Idubbbz to apologize. Go and see this older video if you want to see it. And mind you, it is an older video, but it still checks out. As for a timeline of events, there would be 2 more Slop videos, as I'll call them, before we get to the announcement that Critter Clash 2 lost money. As a way to recoup the money, he would do a charity live stream as well as put the entire Critter Clash 2 full stream on his own channel. If you're not aware about that, you probably have seen the clip where Anissa just for no reason mentions how Idubbbz has IBS.
I just want to ask you if you've always been shitting your pants.
No.
Because since I've known you, you've always had like IBS. You've always been shitting yourself.
Yeah, well.
He is so defeated. His own wife just completely called him out for no reason. What else are you supposed to do? Honestly, if he crashed out right here, I wouldn't blame him. It would be a valid crash out.
Okay. I think because you have IBS and you get like sore, I think I understand what you're saying. Okay.
No. You don't need to give me that. My butthole isn't sore enough that I can't wash it with soap and water and scrub it vigorously. I'll just, this is my distinction. 99.9% of my body, I scrub with soap and I scrub it vigorously. That small percentage.
That's the most important part. To scrub with
You
soap.
don't need, but babe, you don't need to scrub vigorously. All right.
And she is a succubus. And she's gotten everything she can get out of Ian. And he's a husk of a man. I mean, you can see it. You know, he's basically she's puppeteering him. And, you know, I guess in one final Hail Mary to try to ingratiate herself to Hassan's circle for her upcoming streaming career, she has completely destroyed any credibility that Ian has left. Within a year, she's going to divorce Ian. And you will continue to see breadcrumb posts from her like this. Oh, Ian didn't remember my birthday. Man. It's like I'm trying to compliment him. Oh, he's so sweet. But also, the subtext is that he didn't remember my birthday. And he couldn't even buy me this fucking cheap, weird-ass cake.
But with that all said, we reached the Idubbbz Slop era, where we get some magnificent videos such as ranking all Cheez-Its by which generation would eat them, discovering the most epic influencer brand collabs. I turned a mango seed into something wonderful. I have zero jokes, but to say I watched these on stream and it's painful to get through. I could not make it entertaining by watching it with another person in the call and the chat to read and play off of. That's how bad these videos are. And if you want to see my reactions to that, go ahead to my second channel. I have a clip for you. Link in the description. The two most notable videos of this era are his Cartnarks Idubbbz complaints and the world's worst game video. As for the Cartnarks video, I did react to it as well, and it's super weird because he's being hypercritical to this YouTuber, which you would think if you want to distance yourself from your toxic past, you wouldn't do that. Well, he's done that and then did it again and again. So really what's left is just Idubbbz doing a content cop without anything really valid at all. Also, for the world's worst game video, he collabs with the cold ones, Max Mofo and Anything for Views, which obviously they have an extensive history together back when Idubbbz actually peaked. But even if you just looked in the comments section, you're gonna see a lot of people very concerned how Idubbbz is acting throughout the entire video, because he just does not look like he's into it at all. Oh yeah, also I should probably mention how Idubbbz and Anissa started a podcast called She Ruined My Career. I'd like to think I've covered it extensively enough in my previous Idubbbz crash out video, so I'd recommend you go watch that, because it's a total nothing burger and the views indicate as much. Wow, that is complete dog shit views. Your main channel has 7 million subscribers? Wow, that sounds a little high. In late 2024, Idubbbz pivoted to bring back bad unboxing and making some political H-bomber guy style videos. The video 100% Women is about trans women in sports, and Your Body My Birth Vessel is of course about abortion. Again, I covered these more extensively in my previous Idubbbz crash out video. But that brings us to 2025, where Idubbbz announced that Creator Clash is coming back with Creator Clash 3. But before that materialized, Idubbbz did something huge. He brought back Content Cop.
What we do here is go back. I'm gonna come.
And for those that haven't really been keeping up to date with the lore, it must have been like getting hit by a freight train, because obviously Idubbbz denounced all of his content cop videos before, and now he's bringing it back. But also, he is doing it against his longtime friend for nearly a decade, Ethan Klein of H3H3. The thing is about this is that Ethan's own employees were fighting in Creator Clash. So that really puts the employee in a very weird, precarious position then. But not for long, because in Content Deputy H3, Idubbbz announces that he is no longer a part of Creator Clash. And now Creator Clash is being handled by Alana Pierce, Ego Raptor from the Game Grumps, and Ethan Nestor. There was a very uncomfortable period between the Content Cop and Content Deputy where nobody really knew what was going on and just seemingly random people were speaking on behalf of Creator Clash. And it only became clear that the reason Idubbbz left is because his brand is now toxic to Creator Clash as a whole.
Also, I just want to say, like, we don't regret it.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to make that very clear. Like, this stepping away from the company is not because we regret what we've done. We needed to do what we did. I'm very proud of what you've done. I'm very proud of, you know.
I am too.
Creator Clash, under new management, announced some changes to how things were going to be structured. And for no reason whatsoever, they mentioned how it's no longer going to be 34% of the profit going to Ian and Anissa. They did not need to put that in there, but oh man, that completely exposed them. They were about to make profit from the event. Idubbbz himself did address it in a post on his subreddit, as well as the concern trolling video. Idubbbz just claims that he was going to donate the money to charity anyway, which, you know what? That's a fair enough point.
I think where some of the confusion is that many people don't understand how charity events operate, because to be honest, they're all very different. And with something like a charity boxing event, there's a lot of money that you have to front to put it on in the first place. And if you have an investor, you're able to do that. That investor is going to want money, they're going to want profit, but that at least gives you the initial funds to put on the event. There are other charity initiatives and events that allow people to spend money for a ticket and immediately get a product, and also their money goes to charity. Those are usually big fucking conglomerates, giant companies that can afford that cost because they're selling you other things. Some people have an idea of charity events as being like a strictly altruistic thing where everyone is just sacrificing their time and energy and money for the charity. The main controversy, I would say, is that it was revealed with the change of ownership that Anissa and I, because we're 1/3 ownership of Creator Clash, the business, that we were getting 34% of the profit share. We weren't anticipating this event doing well. Like, we wanted to do well enough to pay back the investors, of course. So that's one of the reasons that we were, okay with the profit share thing. But another part of it as well is that the contract wasn't structured in a way that the profit share could just directly go to charity. It was told to us, like, you could just donate your portion of the profit share to charity after the event. So we were like, okay, fine. And now I know some people will find it hard to believe that Anissa and I were just gonna give our portion of the profit share to charity. There's nothing I could really say to, I think, convince them otherwise. It was up to our discretion at the end of the day, and if you don't believe us, I can't say anything that'll change your mind.
So tell me in the comments, do you believe that he was going to donate that money, or do you think he was going to hoard it from himself, or maybe he was going to split it 50-50? 50 to charity, 50 pocketed for himself. And because of the delays of Creator Clash 3, this really left some fighters out left to dry. Many just left outright, such as Myth, who just announced he dropped out.
I will no longer be participating in Creator Clash.
One very notable fighter, however, by the name of Nathan Barnett, who some of you may know as Dad, he was very much outspoken because he was sort of the face of Creator Clash as a fighter. And now that Creator Clash 3 has been delayed, Nathan Barnett is broke.
The person that owes you money for all your time and all your troubles is literally Anissa and Idubbbz. Give him 10 grand. Give him $10,000. He's been training for a year. He's went viral on Creator Clash 1, Creator Clash 2. This guy has taken so much shit just because of your mistakes, because he's the poster boy. He's the guy that goes viral, right? He's the guy that helped build Creator Clash. And now he's over here suffering? Well, this is bullshit. Give him $10,000. I demand $10,000 for Nathan Barnett, aka Dadbot. I demand it. Yeah. I absolutely demand it. It's ridiculous.
I don't want money that it's not. I don't want people just to give me money.
It's ridiculous.
Everyone did the same thing. I trained. I fought. I did my fight. I did promotion. I happened to go viral. It's not. I can't control that.
It's insane. We just need to make this content cop so bad, even though it's going to completely fuck you over. And then they're going to preach that they care so much about these influencers. You know what shit I got when they're telling people I don't care about Wings or Boogie? Motherfucker, I gave them 10 grand.
But with the announcement on July 7th, 2025, Creator Clash 3 has officially been canceled. Whether it be a lack of talent to actually run the show, or just a lack of interest in seeing any of the fights, or maybe even a lack of fighters willing to participate, it's done. We are not seeing Creator Clash 3. And now Nathan Barnett is speaking up.
I put my heart into this. I got freaking beat hard this year, harder than I ever had. And I thought, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna train like a freaking professional.
The last thing I wanna say is that I always tried to be respectful of them, publicly and personally when I was talking to them. I've always given them the benefit of the doubt and never really wanted to place blame on them or anyone. And then it turns out they were just talking trash about me behind my back. Ian's coach said on H3 that they used to say I was weird and talk trash about me, and then I also heard the same thing from Froggy Fresh 2 years ago. I don't care if people think I'm weird because I do make weird videos. I like being different and unique. I'm used to people saying I'm weird. I was just very surprised that it was happening by 2 other creative people. I thought they were like me, and I didn't expect them to make fun of me for being different. I thought that was the point of Creator Clash, was to gather the unique people and put them in a boxing ring. I guess not.
Ever since Idubbbz and Anissa have officially left Creator Clash, it seems like everybody they've worked or associated with through Creator Clash is now going for blood. All the skeletons in their closets are coming out, making 34% profit. And now we get to see the former trainer of Idubbbz speak out. He has the inside knowledge to why Creator Clash 2 was such an expensive failure.
We found out it was a red carpet event that they flew Getty Images in for. So they straight up flew Getty Images to take pictures for the event. But
yeah, they're the only. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, when we asked them about it, and I said, hey, is there a gala? And they said, oh, you guys don't even worry about it. You don't have to go to that. And I said, what? This is what Anissa said. And I said, what? And I said, well, some of the sparring partners got invited. And she said, I don't know how they got on that list. They weren't supposed to be on the list. And in my mind, I'm like, Ian had invited them. He sent them the email personally.
What
right?
a disgusting human being she seems to be. I'm sorry.
Oh, she didn't want any of us there. She only wanted like creators there or people that would, I guess, make her feel like she could get more clout. So she told us we didn't have to come to the event. She doesn't know why we would want to be at the event. And I said, what's the event for? Yeah. And she said, and it's an award show. And I said, what are the awards for? And she said, they're awards for the boxing. And I said, why wouldn't his coach want to be there? Why wouldn't his team want to be there? I was like, that makes no sense. So everybody else, all the other coaches I talked to, I said, hey, did you guys know about the gala? They said, yeah. I said, did you bring a suit for it? And all of them had freaking like 3-piece suits with like kerchiefs and everything. I had sweatpants. I'm like, what
dude, that's so messed up. Why? It's like you're the guy connected with the event organizers and they're explicitly excluding you guys.
I know why. I honestly believe that the reason why Ian and Nisa excluded us and did not want us to know about the gala is because we're both very professional, we're both very direct, and very transparent. If they told us that they were going to throw a huge gala after the fight and it was going to cost a ton of money, we would have asked them, why are you doing this?
Yeah,
because Anissa already told us, she shared with us prior to CC2, like a month before, that they were negative, was it 500K already?
Yeah, at the time.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah, that's
say that again. Say that again.
They were negative 500K before the event.
Yes.
Before, so going up to the event with the ticket sales and the PPV sales, when the event started, they knew they were down $500,000.
Yes.
Keep in mind that they moved to a bigger venue and they sold a lot of tickets. But before the event had started, they said we're fine. So the reason we found this out was because I wanted Ian to start doing 2 training sessions a day. And I said, Ian, you need to start doing 2-a-days. And he was like, why should I do 2-a-days? And I told him, I was like, Ian, you're not good at boxing, man. My brand is at stake. So you need to do 2-a-days. That's what pro boxers do. And so I told him. Wait, did you
actually say that to him?
Yeah, yes. And then I told him, I said, my brand is on the line. I said, you can go back to YouTube. My whole life is fighting and coaching fighters. And I'm like, so if you don't have a good performance, that's going to look bad on me. After the first event, for the first event, he didn't do any of his cardio. So that's why I ended up gassing out so bad.
Also, Wade, a former Creator Clash commentator, says he was working for free under the assumption that it was all for charity.
It's a charity event. It's not a charity event. It's a boxing event that you are perpendicularly associating with a separate charity that has nothing to do with people buying the boxing event. I was a part of the event and didn't know any of this. I didn't know where money is going outside of the fact that I was offered and said, no, I'm all good on that. I want to be there to support, and because they gave me an opportunity, which I'll always be grateful for, but this side of stuff is very weird.
Harley Morenstein, who previously in the Creator Clash 2 era was very defensive regarding Idubbbz, but now has completely turned his back on the dumpster fire that is Idubbbz.
But then they revealed on the Creator Clash thing that they made 34%. And you know what? I wasn't really taken aback, or
you weren't surprised by that.
I knew they were going to make money. I thought maybe they would have taken a salary or something. I didn't know how it worked.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not outlandish, but I thought it was pretty crazy that Creator Clash shared it. Made me feel like maybe there's bad blood going on.
That was 1,000% a sneak diss. There is no other way to interpret that. They knew it was going to cause a shitstorm. They went completely out of their way to mention it. Here, let me pull it up.
He was also one of the creators that quit before Creator Clash 3 was canceled officially. If you're interested in knowing more about Harley Morenstein and his relationship to Idubbbz and Creator Clash, I do fully recommend this video by, don't laugh when I say this, Tyrone the Birth Controller, who 2 years ago, when this was all going down, made a video called Harley Morenstein Meltdown over Froggy Fresh in Creator Clash. Very good video. Unfortunately, Tyrone is no longer with us. us. He just quit YouTube. He's not dead from what I'm aware. But this just really goes to show that Idubbbz abandoned everything that he built up just to chase the Poggers community. Just to be buddy-buddy with fucking Hassan Piker, Frogan, Sean DeBlack. Who even is Sean DeBlack? I've heard of Denims before. I've heard of Frogan before. Maybe that makes me a little too terminally online. But I am not terminally online enough to know who the fuck Sean DeBlack is.
No pity at all for any fucking soldiers. I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers.
How is everybody Idubbbz is surrounding himself with just the worst people ever? They have said worse things than saying the Tano Mojo N-word thing. These people have actively endorsed political violence, called for violence, but we're supposed to believe that this is the empathetic Idubbbz. It was clear that Idubbbz has no idea what he's doing when it comes to running a boxing event. Either that or he just let Anissa do all the work. But you really just couldn't take the 34% profit and just have a modestly successful event. You had to just throw your friend of 10 years under the bus. Now it just really seems that Idubbbz has nothing going for him now. He has a failed marriage, a failed charity event, a failed podcast. I'm only left to assume a failed relationship with his parents. And some would argue a failed YouTube channel, because he could have kept that momentum riding high from his peak in 2017, but he really just couldn't do it. He got trolls remorse, and that cost him everything. This has been Manic the Manic Mechanic. Become a member today to join the Patreon exclusive Discord server. Hopefully this will be my final video on Idubbbz, because frankly, I don't know how much worse it could get for him.
What happened? Am I so uniquely evil that you're willing to abandon your newfound principles after what, less than a year? What is it that I've done, Ian, that makes me more detestable than any of the other people that you've content copped? And for what did you do this? To revitalize your dying career? This entire video reeks of desperation, of being thrown together, and poorly researched. I don't really even understand why they did this, and I can't imagine that it's going to be worth it. Thanks for the 8 years of friendship, buddy. Have fun with your new friends.